G'day guys, Matt Brandt here. Check this out. It's the all-new Lexus NX 350h. And I know what you all are thinking right now. Yes, we have had the bushes behind me trimmed, and we're kind of going for that biomorphic kind of vibe. No, but in all seriousness, we have to all clap here, insert clapping, yay, because we now have Lexus as part of the channel. We're gonna see more of these coming up into the future, and I wanted to start with probably the biggest Lexus, not by grille, they're all pretty massive, but just by nature, which is the Lexus NX. It's all new, as I said, and it's pretty damn awesome. Now, as always, we're gonna take a look at the exterior of the Lexus NX, then we're gonna move on to the interior, and we're gonna see how this thing drives, not only by driving around Saucy Corner, but we're gonna launch this thing from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. We're gonna time it using my specialist timing gear. And then I'm gonna end on, should you buy a Lexus NX? Because there's so many bloody premium luxury mid-sized SUVs out there that it's hard to navigate through, but that's what I'm here for, baby. So let's get straight into it. Now, as always, let's start with up front and address the elephant in the room. Yes, it has an enormous grille. Personally, I actually like the way that this thing looks, and I like the big grille. It doesn't suit all cars, but it suits this pretty well. So if you don't like it, other things I like are this, like the samurai-inspired daytime running light. It looks really damn cool. You've also got some super bright LEDs within there too. Helps you see the road at night. Unbelievable scenes there. You've got some functional aero here to help streamline air across the... It's fake. I take everything I just said back. Liar. You're a liar. But yeah, I mean, from the front, I think it looks really, really cool. Now, coming to the side, and again, it's actually pretty damn cool. So I like these 20-inch wheels here. They are like grayed out. It's a pretty cool look. It's more of that darkened chrome stuff. You've also got these Bridgestone tires here. F-Sport badge here, because it wouldn't be any luxury SUV if it didn't pretend in some way to be part of the performance division. We've got these mirror caps here and 360 cameras there too. So this has a really, really good 360 camera system. In fact, it's got one of the best camera systems I've seen on any new SUV, which is surprising because generally Japanese companies suck eggs at making good cameras, but this one's pretty good. You've got these door handles here that look like they're like movable, but they're not. They have a button within there and you use it like that. I would have thought that having it flush against the panel would make it more aerodynamic and you could just do something with that instead of having it stick out like a normal one, but doesn't open like a normal one. It works well, it's just interesting design to me. Roof rails up here, wouldn't be an SUV without it, would it? And very tinted windows back there too. And it's just a really sleek look. It's almost like one of those coupes that you pay for extra in the German brands, but you get it for free here at Lexus. Here at the back of the Porsche, Freudian slip here. Sorry, here at the back of the Lexus NX, you get this enormous new light bar back here, which does look really, really cool. I love the design of the back. I think it looks so much better than the previous Lexus, which I didn't dislike, but this is just like, whoa, next level. You've got this really steep glass here. You've got a roof spoiler here, so you can tackle the Nürburgring or the streets of Tokyo if we're gonna make it Lexus specific. Lexus badge spelt out there in big, large, Lexus-y kind of letters. You got an NX 350h badge there. This is also the all-wheel drive. I said to Lexus, I said to them, I said, give me the NX 350h all-wheel drive. And they were like, okay, we will. And that was the end of that discussion there. But yeah, very cool. Also, here, check this out. This, of course, is fully loaded. It's got every optional extra under the sun, which actually isn't that much. And I'll get to the price in a minute. But if you hold the key here and you go, like a good premium SUV, the back opens up. So, very luxury. Let's move on to the interior. Now, coming into the interior of the Lexus NX is no small affair because, my God, it is stunning. Jacob, what do you think of the interior? Honest thoughts.
Amazing.
There you go, amazing. So
get me a mic.
Get you a mic. Okay, so let's turn the car on. The answer is no, by the way. We don't have enough money. Not enough people are buying Matt Brandt Cars merch. Am I right?
3 people have bought them.
3
They're
people.
all us.
It's true. So, as you just saw there, the seat came forward and the steering wheel came forward. This is on an electronic rack here. I wish it kind of came a bit more forward, but it doesn't matter because it's comfort access at its finest. It's really nice. It's something you don't see in like BMWs of, you know, $200,000. So yeah, I really like that feature. Sitting in here, it is a completely different experience to other Lexus products. You see, it is just fantastic. And not just fantastic, it is actually ergonomic. You see a lot of other older Lexus products had a lot of issues. There were compromises, for example, with the infotainment display. They would have like this computer mouse pad, which sucked eggs. This is just a touchscreen, and my God, is it a good touchscreen. This is the 14-inch. Oh, makes a pleasing, calming sound coming through the Mark Levinson sound system with like, what, 17 speakers or something, just ridiculous. Whatever it is, it sounds amazing. But coming back to the screen, 14 inches, it's massive. It almost feels Tesla levels big, and it's super responsive. And I'll be totally honest with you, I was surprised because, as I said, Japanese products generally have really bad tech, but and which is like counterintuitive, right? Because Japan is like the center of tech, but it's caught up. It's really good in most areas. So we'll stick with this. As I said, really high definition. You do get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, both of which are wired though, which kind of makes this wireless charger here, which comes on like a little hidey tray, so you can have storage underneath it. Pretty cool, but makes that kind of redundant. So you still have to plug your phone in to use Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which, let's be honest, that's probably what you're going to be using most of the time. It also has relegated the climate controls to the screen, though. Again, I don't really mind because they're always there. They don't hide away. They're not hidden in a menu. You can access pretty much everything you need from here directly. So I don't mind that. The bad tech is up in front of you. So you get this 8-inch, I guess, digital display, but it's a TFT display, which is an older technology, doesn't really look that great, and it isn't customizable in almost any way. So you can change the menu in the center a little bit. When you change through the different modes here, it kind of changes the tack, but other than that, it's pretty damn basic. So what's quality like? Well, quality is really good. As you would kind of expect from a Lexus, they have some of the nicest interiors out there. In fact, it feels more premium than pretty much any other car at this price point. I'm talking, Mercedes GLC or BMW X3 or Audi Q3. This just feels a lot nicer. And yes, this thing is very red. We have the red optional interior here, which I love. I think it's really, really cool, but not everyone is going to love this lipstick red, and I kind of understand that. Now, in terms of practicality, I'll do the obligatory water bottle. I love your water bottle, by the way. Very interesting design there with a dream catcher. Look at that, everybody. How beautiful is that? But anyway, you've got a couple of cup holders there. Have to do that. It's obligatory. It's getting cold, isn't it? It's starting to rain. Let me tell you, I'm very comfortable in here, so I don't feel your pain. You've got a USB-C port, a USB-A port here too. So yeah, very practical. Ooh, and door bins are a pretty massive size, and yeah, it'll fit that water bottle just. Oh yeah, and also the glove box is a pretty massive size, and it's like felt line there too, so very nice and premium. It really does feel very comfortable within here. Speaking of, you've got this beautiful steering wheel here as part of this luxury package 2, whatever they call it. You get a heated steering wheel, and it's got these touch capacitive buttons on here, and you can't see it, but up in the heads-up display in front of me, you can change between different menus, and you've got like different options if you press these buttons down here. It's more intuitive than it sounds. There is a little bit of a learning curve, but it only took me like a day, and after that, I was good, baby. I learnt my Japanese tech. Speaking of Japanese tech, we do have a moonroof. Don't know why it's not called a sunroof, but there you go. And oh, look, it works. And I'm going to close it because it's raining. But yes, it does help to brighten up the interior, even though they are quite tinted anyway. Oh, I didn't talk about this. Look at this. Bam, open that way. Bam, open that way. And you get a pretty massive amount of storage space within there too. So yeah, I mean, what's not to like? Maybe this little shifter. It's a bit weird, I'll give you that. Another piece of tech too is this here. You've got a camera as your mirror. What's it called? What's it called? Rear view mirror. Rear view mirror. I'm a real car journalist, guys. Your rear view mirror is your camera there too. So you've got a pretty high definition display of the person behind you picking their little nose. I say little, could be big. Don't want to discriminate. One last thing I forgot to mention, probably the most important part, are these seats. So they are beautiful leather. They feel really comfy, and they are super duper supportive. You can adjust them in many ways. Look. I can adjust it so my head's touching the roof. Get a very commanding position. You know how some people drive like this, Jacob? They're like this. That does my head in. If you are like that, you need to stop. You're a menace to society. Anyway, let's go talk about the back seats. Oh. Been We're getting flexible, if you know what I mean. Now, you might be wondering why I did that. It's because my shoes are off, because it's dirty outside. I don't want to get this beautiful interior dirty. So, you know what? You got to do what you got to do. Let's start with something I forgot to mention up front, and that is these door handles here. Don't know if you can see them, but there is, well, I guess a lack of a door handle. Instead, you get this button here, which you can press. Ooh, opens the door, or you can pull this. Why was that so difficult?
Because you're not meant to do it.
It literally shows a diagram pulling it.
It's wrong.
Okay, you have to do it twice if you do. Okay, I figured it out. If you want to open it once, you press the button. If you want to take the long route to opening the door, you pull it twice and then it opens. Don't really get that. I'm sure there's some logic behind it, but yeah, not that I understand. First thing I've noticed back here, first of all, are these floor mats. They are thick pile floor mats, like a Rolls Royce. It's actually pretty cool. Sitting back here, I'm 5'11", 179 centimeters tall. Someone's gonna look that up and be like, you're 5'10". Well, guess what? Okay, it hurts to be a 5'10" man, therefore I'm 5'11". Sitting back here, I've got plenty of headroom, even with this moonroof. Still no moon in sight. Heaps of leg room. Toe room is very good too, and I can stretch out. It is very comfy back here, and actually it's on a completely different platform to the last NX, so it's a longer car, and therefore you get more space in the back, which I personally like. You've also got mat pockets here, a couple of air vents. No third zone of climate control, which is actually quite unusual for a premium luxury mid-sized CUV, but you've got a 12-volt socket there. You've also got a couple of USB-C ports to keep the kids happy. We can pull this down as well. See, oh look, lipstick red armrest. You've got a couple of cup holders within there too. Nothing too fancy. And yeah, the seats back here are super duper comfy. It's nice. I like it a lot. Jacob, what do you think of the back?
I think it's fantastic.
Would you sit here?
I would sit here if you kicked me out of the front.
It might happen. Anyway, let's talk about boot space now, which is actually very good. So, automatic tailgate, of course. There wouldn't be a luxury SUV without it. We can take off this here and pull this out, and this is our cargo cover, which is actually pretty smart because it folds. And then look at this. We can put it down here where there's a bunch of storage space and batteries and stuff, and good night, it's off to sleep. And then, yeah, as you can see here, there is so much room. It's actually not funny. Serious. It's a serious matter. There's a lot of space. You can also put down the back seats, and then you get plenty of room within there. And I mean plenty. Look at my hands. It's showing how much room there is. There's like 1,100 liters. You can fit a lot of fish in there. I like, very nice. Go move on to the specs. Now, the NX kicks off with the NX250, but as I said, this is the NX350H. There's also an NX350 that's not hybrid and it's got a different turbo engine, and then there's also the NX450, which is a plug-in hybrid. But I asked for the NX350H all-wheel drive because that is going to be one of the most popular specs in Australia, and it comes with a pretty awesome spec to it too. So you get a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine paired to Toyota's hybrid system, which is tried and true, one of the best out there. Sorry, Lexus hybrid system. This engine pumps out 179 kilowatt of power combined with the electric motor, and then the engine puts out 239 newton meters of torque. The motor puts out 270 newton meters of torque. No, that doesn't mean you get 500 newton meters of torque, but it is still pretty sprightly, as we'll see in just a second when we launch control this thing to 100 kilometers an hour. And then in terms of pricing, it's actually really reasonable. So if you want to get this one here, which is the F Sport, which means it's top of the range with the optional luxury pack 2, whatever, which comes with everything, it means that you will spend about 93 grand drive away for one of these bad boys. And that's a really good price, because if you compare it to something like its competitor, the BMW X3 base model S20i, which comes with a pretty anemic engine, drives really well, but still you don't get anything on the inside, you're going to be spending about the same price anyway. And 100% I would rather have everything that you get within here. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. But let's launch this thing and see how its performance is. Okay, so now we're going to launch the all-new Lexus NX, and it's going to go a zoomy zoom. Isn't that right, friend?
Zoom, zoom. Wait, that's a different...
Cut. We're going to launch the Lexus NX. All right, so this thing doesn't have launch control, of course. It does have a sport mode, and not just a sport mode, a sport mode plus. We've got my specialist timing gear here. It uses satellites to pinpoint exactly how quick we're going, friend. What do you reckon it will do?
I'm going to guess 8.6 seconds.
I think that's a good guess. I'm going to guess it's 9.5 seconds.
Really?
Ready?
Oh,
Hey, that's pretty good. CVT, gotta love them.
come on.
Oh! 0 to 100 in 8.4 seconds. I'm impressed. All right, so here we are driving the Lexus NX Hybrid. You know what? Let's test the off-road capabilities of this car. We have a terrain mode button here. Let's see how she goes. Oh, unbelievable.
Wow.
Oh, what's the approach angle like? You could take this thing off to the Nullarbor.
Bro, that was very smooth.
Actually, you probably could because it would be very reliable and make it there. All right, so let's take the car out of that. We're driving on the classic saucy gravel road, as I'm now calling it, and it's been horrible recently because it's been raining a lot. This car has adaptive dampers. It's got them in the comfort setting at the moment. There's comfort and sport, and it's really damn comfortable.
It's pretty nice.
Like, this road is horrible today. Yeah, you could definitely feel some imperfections, but as I overlay some of the GoPro footage here with the wheels violently shaking, I think it's doing a pretty damn good job. I really, truly do. Are you comfy?
I'm very comfortable right now, bro. I'm perfect.
Well, guess what? I'm about to make you feel very uncomfortable and unsafe in this working environment, as I'm about to go and give this thing some sauce. How does it make you feel?
I'm used to that by now, bro.
Okay, so let's put the car into Sport and then Sport S Plus. So it's Sport or Sport Plus. And we'll also put the transmission into S mode. Now, this is a CVT, a continuously variable transmission, the bane of any automotive journalist's existence. CVT is not great because it uses pulleys and chains and cones, whatever that means, and
Cones.
not that kind of cone, Jacob. And it is better for fuel economy, but sounds horrible, although they've come a long way. So let's see how far they've come. Right now, I'm apparently in gear 4. Something tells me that this is artificial gearing. It is. All right, let's go. Let's give this thing some sauce.
Whoa.
That's a lot better than I expected.
You know what? I was actually like, at first I didn't think it was fast. Then I looked at the speed.
Yeah, you
and
pick
I
up.
realized we were going way faster than I thought.
So that's a double compliment there from Jacob, because it's quiet within here, really quiet. They've got a lot of sound deadening materials, soft touch materials everywhere. The doors are full of sound insulation, the under panels as well. So even though it shares, for example, the same platform as a RAV4, this isn't a RAV4. It's definitely a luxury car. And the thing is that the reason I'm surprised by its performance is because I've been driving this thing around in normal mode the entire time. And because it's a Toyota hybrid product at the end of the day, it does dull down the throttle response, things like that. 1, to make it smooth, 2, for fuel efficiency. So in terms of fuel efficiency, I'm getting 7.1 litres per 100 kilometres. That's not the best out there. Actually, you would see better if you were driving more around town rather than being out over the twisties here. Let's put it back in the Sport, give us some sauce here. And also, it's going to be skewed worse now that I'm at the wheel, really. I'm really impressed.
Oh my God.
Like, for a CUV, it's not, you're not jumping around the corners, you're not body rolling a lot at all. And the sports mode, it's actually still very comfortable. Let's give it a bit more. I'm not even changing gears, it just does it itself, because there aren't gears, it's all fake. That wasn't even, that was
only Sport S mode.
That was only sport mode.
Oh,
We didn't even have it in Sport Plus
now
mode.
I'm scared.
Well, here's the issue. There's a lot of traffic today, and that's doing my head in. So let's slow down a bit. It picks up really well. You can tell the electric motor kicks in just at that moment. It's like, oh God, here we go again. You know what else is really impressing me? The handling, and more so the steering. So this thing has dynamic steering essentially. So the higher speed you are, the heavier the steering gets, and that gives you a lot more confidence. I can't forget that this isn't a sports car at the end of the day, but I'm super impressed. The BMW X3 at this price point just isn't going to be anywhere near this complete of an experience.
No, it will probably be better at driving.
Yes.
Like here. But in terms of features, nah. No
No.
way. Nowhere near.
We're coming up to Saucy Corner.
Not with these guys in front of us. We're not. We're just coming up to a corner.
We're going to make it saucy. So let's just pull over and wait for them to go a bit more. We're apparently in 6th gear right now. How high can we go? Stationary. Apparently 6th. Okay. Are you ready, friend, for Saucy Corner?
I think so.
You're never ready. Hey. Oh. All right. How's it go on their first hairpin?
Oh,
Pretty well. Traction kicked in there. I'm
Not
not
bad.
turning off traction control. This one a bit more intense though. All of our camera gears going flying.
you know what? I'm tempted to say it did better than the Jeep.
Oh no, 100% did better than the Jeep. Yeah, there was no contest there. I will say though, like you heard the wheel scrabbling at the beginning of that. I mean, all-wheel drive kicked in very, very quickly because it's a front-wheel drive biased all-wheel drive system. So it normally runs in front-wheel drive just to keep the car more fuel efficient. If it needs to send power to the back, it will. I'm really impressed, man.
I think this car is pretty awesome.
And we're in sport mode right now. Like back to like
It's comfortable. You can't tell actually.
this is no, you can't. This is actually comfortable now. Like
So
it's
what's the difference?
the dampening becomes a bit harder. But
Barely tell.
yeah, you can barely tell. But that's a good thing. Like, that's a compliment. All right, let's get into my final thoughts. So, what's my final thoughts on the new Lexus NX 350h all-wheel drive Extreme Edition? Well, I really like this thing. I didn't think that I would like it as much as I did, actually. I thought, oh, BMW are going to be the best. But seriously, if you want to go out and buy yourself something that's, reliable, like you're not going to be thinking in the back of your head that this thing's going to be breaking down, like, honestly, I would be if I bought a BMW, Mercedes, Audi, probably especially Audi, but I digress. This thing is a really good luxury car that's gonna have good resale value. It's got pretty much everything that you want and need, extremely comfortable. Yeah, it's an absolute winner in my books. And it's priced better. Why wouldn't you? You're a numbnuts if you don't. But let me know what you guys think of the new Lexus NX 350 or any of the NX range. Would you get one? Do you have one? Let me know in the comment section below, and just below that like button, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd love to have you around. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Ciao for now.